So how are you doing? Let me know tonight where you are watching from, whether you're watching me live or whether you're watching me on replay by hashtag live or hashtag replay. And if you've got any questions, put them in the comments, because tonight I'm really going to give you a poke and push the boundaries. That's the plan. So my name is Mandy Nicholson, for those of you that don't know me, and I am a creative genius consultant, artist, and author. And I help creative women to build their business, to grow their business, to scale their business, and to make some real money in this world. And I have just moved to Scotland to a mini version of the castle that has been on my vision board for the last couple of years. And that kind of is connected with the topic of tonight, because I asked tonight on the advertising for this live, what do you really love to do? And there's a reason I've asked that question. What do you really love to do? Because it makes a huge difference to us if we are doing what we really love. So if money were no limit, if money were absolutely no limit, you had endless amounts of money, and if time were no limit and you had nothing else to do with your time, what is it that you would choose to do? Let me know in the comments. What is it that you would choose to do? Now, I can't see all of your comments. I'll come back to you and reply at the end of the live. If you do put anything in the comments, I always check all of the platforms, so I will come back to you. What would you fill your time doing if money and time were no object? What is it that you truly love? And here's the big question. How much time do you invest in doing that thing now? Why are you not doing that thing for a business? I'm asking you that question because that thing that you truly love to do, that you would choose to do if time and money were no limit, is your zone of genius. That is your natural zone of genius, the thing that you love to do. And when you operate in your zone of genius, it has a profound effect on you, everyone around you, and on the society that you live in, because productivity goes up. Your productivity goes up when you are operating in your zone of genius. Joy goes up. You are happy, fulfilled. You are doing what you love, operating in your zone of genius. Stress is reduced. Mental health illnesses reduce. All of the things that drive us to these weird and wonderful places all reduce, and all the good things increase when we are operating in our zone of genius. But we are resistant to actually taking the leap of faith that puts us there. And yet we can be so successful when that is where we choose to be. And it sounds a bit like a pipe dream, doesn't it? How do you move from where you are? Thank you. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you. And where do you move from where you are now to this zone of genius that will make you happy and fulfilled and productive, and that will have you earning more money than you could imagine in any other space? It's a matter of choice. It is, and it sounds really simple, but it's choosing to follow that. And in choosing to follow your dreams and move into your zone of genius, the impact that you have on the economy and on yourself is it's exponential. And I know this because it's what I've done. And I was resistant to this for decades. So I understand if you're having difficulty, if you're listening to me now and you're going, well, it's easy for you to say that, Mandy, but it's not so easy to do. We all have a zone of genius. So thanks, Siobhan. We all have a zone of genius. We all have this zone where we operate in that place of happiness, joy. And what comes along with that is profit when we actually start to operate there at all times. But we're scared because we have this imposed perception of what we should be doing that's imposed on us by society. We have a structure imposed on us, don't we, from going to school and being taught that we need to fit into society and we need to do a proper job and we need to earn money and we need to pay our bills and we need to perform as a society. And many of us are held back from being in this zone of genius and operating at that level and delivering great work and making a difference. And it's because that we're trying to fit into what's expected rather than following what we really want to do. Now, I'm not saying that all of us, because people have a vocation to become doctors or nurses or teachers and they follow that and they go and do it, and that is their zone of genius, and that's great. That's a perfect fit. Many people are operating in their zone of genius and changing the world. But for those of you out there that are feeling frustrated and feeling like you're not following what you should be doing, it's because you are operating below that zone. You are operating in a place where you're not fulfilling your true potential, that you are not doing all that you could do, and you're not doing what you would choose to do if time or money were no limit. And that's the question you need to ask yourself. How do I move myself there? And the resistance that we have to it is ingrained in us. It's taught into us by a system that operates that way, but it's also expected of us. It's expected by parents, by peers, by siblings, by aunties, by uncles, by family members, that we should operate in a certain way. And one of the toughest areas to be when you are trying to operate in your zone of genius and being coerced out of it is in creativity. And I'm sorry, but I did this. I started telling you about that and then got waylaid. You know, I spent decades doing something else, and I was really, really good at the something else. I was a senior leader for decades in retail, and I was really good at it. But there was this huge void inside of me, this mismatch, this something that didn't feel right. I was doing a great job, earning a hell of a lot of money. I was on a 6-figure salary, a company car, you name it, all the benefits that go with this big job. And loved it, really did love it. But there was still this void inside of me that was questioning me. I was questioning myself and saying, why can't you be this successful using your creativity? What is holding you back, Mandy, from being this successful using your creativity? And there was nothing holding me back. I was holding me back by fitting me into a model that did not fit me. So I was using some of the skill set that I have in my zone of genius, because there's a huge link between creativity and leadership. Creatives are visionary thinkers and seers and have an ability to be great leaders. So I was using the skills that sat within my zone of genius to operate well in a place that was not 100% fit for me. But this void, as you get older, and believe me, I'm probably older than some of you that are on here tonight. I'm only in 50 something years young, but I don't feel that old. So like I say, I spent decades in this other job, this other place that was not allowing me to be in my zone of genius. And I did really, really well in it. And many people do. Many creatives survive, not only survive, but thrive in places where they don't really want to be, earning a living and fitting into society. When in actual fact, they'd love nothing more to be getting up in the morning and going to a studio and getting covered in paint or clay or crafting materials and delivering something that actually seriously puts them into the place of doing what they really love. And this is where I decided to take that leap into the creative space and say, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to do it first. I'm going to figure out how I can be as successful using my zone of genius, my creativity. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to put that together, and I'm going to package it, and I'm going to teach you how you can get there too. Because there was very little when I stepped into this space to help creative women in particular to be able to figure it out and actually go and take what it is they're really, really good at and they love doing and do that and make good money at it. So that's what I decided to do. And obviously, one of the things we're great at as creatives is having vision. And I have this huge vision to not only do this in my business, which I do right now. So I introduced myself at the start. I'm a creative genius consultant. I help creative women to launch and grow and develop their businesses so they can make more money. But I also had a big vision of owning a castle in Scotland. And once you step into your zone of genius and decide to be there and operate from that, the opportunities are limitless. Because once you've done it, the confidence that you have in yourself in operating in that space is boundless. And it gives you that fearless approach to life that allows you to take calculated risks and follow everything that you want to do and that you love to do. So that's what I've done. I've ended up, so I'm now, this is where I am in a temporary little flat in Dalbeatty on the high street, just a minute away from the big property that I've bought. So if you're following my photographs at the moment on social media and you're following my journey, I sold my dream home because I lost my husband last year. He died, which was devastating, but I'd already stepped into my zone of genius and I had this big vision and I thought, you know what, there's nothing holding me back now. Life's too short. Let's just do it. Sold my house and I've put this ex-bank in Dalbeatty that's got 7 bedrooms that I'm renovating and I'm going to run creative retreats from it. So I didn't just want to help women through my coaching programs. I wanted to help women by bringing them to this amazing space. It was going to be castles, but the castle is probably a couple of years away now. It's closer than it was before because I've taken the first step. I'm in my zone of genius and I am going for it. Nothing's going to hold me back because once you step in there, you learn to operate at that level. This is the joy in it. Once you actually accept it and step into it, you can operate at that level in everything that you do. So I have literally just come back from this house, seeing a landscape gardener about creating a beautiful walled garden that's going to be a fantastic space for if you come on the retreats that we can pay outside or inside, dependent on the weather. So this is where I'm operating from right now. And it is, I have to say to you, if money and time were no limit, I wouldn't be doing anything different right now. Because this place is a great place to be. And when you're here, you create lots of things. So I'm creating something new. There'll be a big launch in September. I've got lots of new stuff that I'm working on. And there's not a moment of my day that I'm not operating from a place of joy. So if you're not there right now and you're not feeling like that every single day when you're working, I'm going to challenge you to ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself those questions. If time and money were no limit, what would I be doing from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep? And it doesn't matter what that is. If that's hiking up the Cairngorms or climbing Everest, then that's great. That might be your zone of genius. That might be the thing that you truly love and want to do. If that's baking cakes, that's also okay. If it's painting pictures, that's okay. But what is it? What is it that you would truly love to be doing every single day if time and money were no limit? And how much time do you spend doing that right now? How much time would you like to spend doing that? Stepping into your zone of genius will change your life. Stepping into you might need some help to get there because it's not an easy thing to do. I don't come onto these lives and say, do this, it's easy, because it isn't. It's not been an easy journey for me. It's taken me, where am I now? I launched my business on Boxing Day 2019. So the business is still adolescent. We're coming up to a year and a half, 2 years. But in that year and a half, 2 years, I have built 4 coaching programs at different price points. I have painted a body of work. I have written a book. I have moved into my dream home in Northumberland. I have then sold that dream home in Northumberland, bought a house in Scotland that's my mini castle, moved to Scotland, and I'm just about to up-level my business and do a big launch. So don't tell me it can't be done, because it can be done. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Some of us just need some help. Along the way, I have had some help. I have worked with 3 different people now in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, to help me get here. Because sometimes you can't do it on your own. And that's why I've stepped into this space, to help people who really want to get there quicker, and to get there in the best way and do it right first time, rather than having to redo it. So when I created my program for creative women, I wanted it to include everything that you need, not just pieces of the jigsaw, the whole damn jigsaw. Everything that I know a creative woman needs. Do you know how I know what a creative woman needs? Because I'm a creative woman and I'm operating in my zone of genius. And I want you to be there too. So this was a bit of a challenge live tonight, where I wanted to come on and ask you this question and ask you to take stock of your life. Where are you right now? How close are you to operating in that zone? I hope you're really close and you're already doing it, and that you're just listening to me because you've got nothing else to do. But if you're not, if this has made you stop and think about what it is you'd really love to be doing, then that's why you were led to watch this live tonight. There's a reason for everything. Everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. And if you are watching this live and it's making you think and you're going, oh my God, she's talking to me, it's because I'm talking to you. Go and have a think about what it is you'd truly love to do. What would bring you that level of happiness? And how can you make a really substantial living out of it? And you can do it. So let me tell you how I do it, because a lot of people don't share how they do it, really, do they? So I have created multiple income streams, recurring revenue into my business. So I've got 2 books written and 2 in the planning stages, and a 3-book deal with Austin Macaulay. So I'm making recurring revenue from book sales. That just happens while I sleep. So that's one thing that I do. I've painted this series of body of work about women and empowerment, and some landscapes, and that's on my website, and people can buy the original art or they can buy prints. So that's another income stream that I have. I've got 4 coaching programs at different price points. Some of those are easy income streams, recurring revenue that I don't have to participate in. Some are bigger, higher price points. And then obviously I'm creating retreats and bed and breakfast. So multiple income streams coming into my business, but all using my zone of genius, using my creativity. And it's, for a lot of women and for a lot of creatives, it's just about thinking differently in the first instance, and then understanding the systems, the processes, and the strategies that you need to be able to not only create these things, but to sell them without being sleazy. So that's what I teach. Think about it. So your task for tonight is to ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself those questions. If time and money were no object, what would you be doing? How much time are you investing in doing that right now? And how would you feel? How would you feel when you're operating in your zone of genius? Food for thought, everybody. So I am going to disappear and do something for the new house tonight. I've received all the artwork for the retreat rooms today. How exciting. So I've been opening prints of Van Gogh's work, Monet's work, and Picasso's work. This has just popped up on my phone, and it has actually been very meaningful to me. Oh, thank you, Siobhan. I recognize that feeling when operating in a zone of genius, but I've never heard it articulated like that. Thank you. That's a lovely, thank you for that comment. That's really nice, Siobhan. And I am so pleased you recognize the feeling. Some people don't even recognize the feeling, and that makes me really quite sad. That's why I wanted to do a live on it tonight. So have a wonderful week, guys. I will be here next week, same time, same place, because I've got nowhere else to go, although I might do it from the house next week. You never know. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in a week's time. Bye for now.